Season 5, Week 13. We'll be watching Zanshin Tactics face off against Valhalla. I'll be your caster tonight, joined by the amazing Jibba.
Just for 2 maps, that's all. Then I'm going to the other stream. I'm spreading the love tonight, that's all.
Very helpful. We appreciate this in these solo cast nights.
You guys got your Revity, and I am not worried at all by who you got, so. It's gonna be good times on both streams. What are you hoping to see on these Ilios rollouts?
Honestly, we got Ruins first, which is, in the lower ranks, you can definitely see a lot of dive here, which I would be excited to see. You could run that as sort of a counter comp for the ranged heroes like Ashe and Widowmaker you tend to see on these maps, but it looks like we're going to see some pretty standard-ish brawl comps coming out here. Valhalla going to look for the Pharah comp, looks like, with the Widowmaker, so not too brawly, but on the side of Zanshin Tactics, we're definitely seeing a very, outside of the Widowmaker, a traditional brawl look coming out of them.
Round 1, capture the objective.
I am interested by this. I feel like the double shield will be pretty good. The Pharah from Ant might be able to kind of take that down pretty quickly.
And so we see Zanshin Tactics have point presence first here. They've pretty much locked down their place on point. They're pushing Valhalla out. Antipo, though, out on this by the statue, trying to create discord in the backline. However, Zanshin Tactics just pushing really aggressively into Valhalla, forcing them to back out. They've already wiped out half the team. Need to remember to capture the point, but they're doing that now. Zanshin Tactics going to take a pretty commanding first cap here.
He did see a good sniper from Ravioli Stain. So I was gonna say could come down to a Widow game, but Zom's taking Ravioli out.
Yep. That's gonna be a little rough for Valhalla to push into now because they don't really have anything to deter Zoms from taking. Well, Ant has now swapped off the Pharah onto a Junkrat, preemptively making that swap against Zoms. Now we see Valhalla's managed to break Honda's shield. Honda trying to hold his corner. Gets a pin on the V-Hunter there, but unfortunately it's taken down. Both Reinhardt's traded out here. That gives Zanshin the more favorable positioning here, and they're taking advantage of that. They've already gotten another pick. Demo in this backline here trying to find a squishy target to kill. KDB able to finish off Brow Daddy, and Demo pushing them out even further without the help of their Reinhardt. And that'll be Zanshin holding down for another team fight while Valhalla regroups, which is actually pretty fast.
Yeah, one thing I'm really liking from seeing from Tactics is I think they realize that Valhalla really heavily kind of relies on their tank line to make some space here. So they're playing that Reaper really negates a lot of this tank space.
Zom's got hacked to the backline here, which is taking away a lot of their sort of aggression on the front line. Now Valhalla have managed to break in here. Sigma going to use Gravitic Flux, finds 3 to deter this aggression, then Beat comes out here from Killerbot. Nice shatter block coming out from Honda Horn, still hits Daddy Needs You, however not able to take them down in time. Beat's in a little bit of trouble here in this cubby, able to find their way back out. Valhalla pushing back a little bit here, but it seems like Zanshin are doing a really good job of establishing their position. Demo using the Blossom, but a great counter beat coming out from Beat. That might just be enough to save Valhalla and let them take this point. A nice hack on the Daddy Needs You. He won't be able to use his shield for this Riptide. The Riptide is going specifically for him. And it looks like Zanshin are going to come back in, try and get some percentage here, try and get this to 99, maybe even flip it if they can. Demo looking for a kill on the Brow Daddy here, and Zoms is still alive on this Tracer, but it looks pretty solidified that this will go Valhalla's way, and it does, finally securing a tick at the final moment.
Small scary thing about CT doing that is they switched to quick characters. They lost a little ult percentage on some things, but they also allowed the rest of Valhalla to kind of build up some ult percentage here. We do see Ravioli almost at 100% of the EMP. Big for this fight pushing in.
I agree. Valhalla have gotten some... Oh, Hunter coming in with a huge Shatter Fighting 4! Not able to actually get a final blow, but it looks like the damage done with the hammer was enough to finally wear them down. Valhalla falling back, but it's not enough. The damage is already done. Zanshin Tactics just off the back of that one Shatter are going to take this back. Oh, well, Ravioli Stain's going to stall for a little bit more time. Zombie swapped over to Pharah.
Yeah, I was gonna say allows for Brow Daddy and the X-Hunter to get back in with Polka Boost. Very impactful.
This grab is pretty big. but no kills able to go through. Ooh, a nice pin on entry. Hunter able to take down 2 on their way in. Might have swung this back in Valhalla's way. It looks like it has. They've taken down half of Zanshin Tactics. More so now. Demo gonna invest the Death Blossom here. Takes down Antipo. I'm not sure about that Death Blossom though. Valhalla gonna hold here, which is really impressive.
I like the idea of the Death Blossom. It was able to take out 2, but unfortunately able to take out 2 of the quickest 2 to get back to point. So I'm not sure how impactful it would be for them in that situation. It would have been good for the turn of the fight if the rest of ZT were there.
This will heal you.
Valhalla rotating for the Pharah, but it's left the door wide open for Honda to come in. But a huge EMP finding 5 members of Zanshin Tactics may be able to make this fight a short one for Valhalla. But Zanshin are fighting back, trades back and forth so far here, but Valhalla getting the better of those trades, able to take down 4 members of Zanshin Tactics, and that'll send them back for another regroup. And now they're already up to roughly 80% of point capture. One more fight left in this map.
BX Hunter smartly did not use the ult in that fight, but also scarily did not use the ult in that fight, because if ZT were able to turn that into their advantage, it kind of would have been on him a little bit.
Both these Rhines, though, they have Shatter. And they both countered each other with it. The Gravitic Flux helped negate Hunter a little bit there. They're going to go on ahead and invest Beat here. It is the last fight. Honda Horn with the first pick, and Zoms in the backline with the barrage. The Beat's able to keep them topped off long enough to get the full barrage off. Brow Daddy gets pinned, but a nice bubble able to keep them alive. But just the sheer numbers game here is going to favor Zanshin Tactics. Ravioli Stain able to touch, buy them another moment. A nice pin out though from Honda, able to secure them ruins.
Yeah, the double shatter, the double piece that we saw from both teams there was very impactful for sustainability, keeping alive, especially through that Sigma ult. But Zoms being in the backline with that Pharah barrage just meant that there was going to be very little on the side of Valhalla that they could do there, unfortunately.
I agree.
They utilized every resource on the tank ults, unfortunately.
Gravitic Flux was just a really good, like, kind of fight stopper there, because it forces, like, a beat to come out when, like, obviously you would have really wanted to have it for the barrage. But
excited for this double bird here on the side of Valhalla.
You don't often see teams opt for this Orisa Roadhog anymore since Pull got nerfed into oblivion. Make Orisa great again, please. But with the Fortified buff, I'm glad to see her be played a little bit more. Nice hook already from Honda Horn, bringing Brow Daddy into the pit. Demo getting really aggressive here onto Hunter. Now the tanks are out for Valhalla. We'll see if they stay in this fight any, but it looks like they're going to just try to play a poke war here and slowly get out.
They're well known for his Lucio, so he's always kind of in your backline. So they have a lot of loot potential and pull potential here on the side of ZT. It's nice to see, and they're utilizing all the cooldowns properly.
That was a really good hook from Honda Horn again. But tank trades for both teams. KDB though with a nice res on the Daddy Needs You, gonna bring their shield back into play. Once you get this Roadhog sort of established on the well, though, it's very hard to take it back. We see Brow Daddy swap to Diva, I would assume, to help with both the Pharah, as well as being able to DM things to get hooked by Honda Horn, who is just going crazy right now. Managed to do a solo flank and find the pick on the Ravioli Stain. And Zanshin, they're doing a really good job, but Valhalla they tried a few different angles now, and it's just not really worked out for them. Zanshin have done a very good job of, like, reading what Valhalla are trying to do and shutting it down.
I think this is Honda Horn's first, is this his debut match, or was it last week was his debut match?
Unsure, unfortunately.
I think this is his debut match, if I'm being honest.
If it's a debut, it is quite the debut.
I'm gonna get those box
Antipo flanking on the newly swapped to Reaper, but Demo might sniff them out here. Oh, the entire team has decided to follow Antipo. Antipo's gone up to challenge Demo. Gets forced off the high ground though. Window coming out. A huge hook again from Honda Horn, but Zoms follows follows them through that flank and just hits a huge barrage. Zanshin just exhausted all of their ults, all 6 of them, on that one fight right there. But that might have actually been the move. I don't think Zanshin are going to be able to touch. Or not Zanshin, sorry, Valhalla. That'll be Zanshin Tactics pretty cleanly taking map 1.
This is not, well, I don't know if it's Honda Horn's debut game or not. Honda Horn has been on the team for 2 months, so
Okay.
I don't think it's their debut.
Regardless, they are playing like really, really well tonight. that is a good angle. That was a really good concussive blast.
I'm gonna get us to match. As I move things in the server around accidentally. Sorry, everybody that notices that and has OCD about that. So we asked for some swaps and readies.
Mm-hmm. So next up on the list of maps we're playing on tonight is good old Eichenwald.
How do you feel about this map?
Terribly, I hate it.
Do you really?
If there was any
I love
map
this map
that they could remove from the game, I would immediately vote for Eichenwald if we were given that option.
Or do you already count that first? Or do you already count that map as removed?
I count that one as removed. I'm apparently getting connectivity issues. That's not good. Hopefully it's cleared up now.
But Paris is such a good map.
I would really like to see Paris and Horizon Lunar Colony eventually like reintroduced and reworked, because I've actually genuinely missed those 2 maps like being in rotation, even though like they're very like poorly made, and every time I get them in quick play I'm reminded why they're not in rotation. I genuinely kind of miss, because like there was like those maps were really, really good for like double shield, and they've kind of, their lack of existence in competitive environments has made double shield really hard to be played anywhere. Like they're just, it's a playstyle like Bunker and Double Shield were really good on those 2 maps specifically, and now that those 2 maps aren't in rotation, they're really kind of non-existent these days.
See, I also felt like a dive was, if you had like a 6-stack coordinated dive, like a dive could work so well on both of those maps, which really made those 2 maps really fun and kind of engaging. There were so many different strats that you could kind of take on attack and on defense, if I'm being honest. You know, there's always the same strats. There's the long distance range sort of snipers. No swaps on either team. We have a ready from Valhalla. We just need a ready from Dux.
Alrighty.
Everyone hates me because I love Paris, but I know it's a broken map. I like what. Oh wait, we didn't. Oh yep, we got it ready. Okay. You're ahead of me. On your game, I like it. Previous head of stream team approves.
Thank you.
What do you like to see on this map, though?
So, I actually would like to see some like more Orisa be played here on the defense personally, just because I feel like she actually does have, like, her kit's really good for this specific map, but teams don't usually like to run her here because she can be a bit of a liability against like really aggressive teams. But I think if you back up Orisa well enough, you can really maximize her kit here. I also don't like. I would like to see a team play dive on point B, because everybody talks about it from an analytical standpoint. Like, you would generally want to swap off of whatever comp you're on for A and go to B, or go to dive while you're attacking on B, but you never really see it in practice. So I would like to see that happen, actually.
On attack, I will never not love the Mason over the wall. It's so hard to coordinate, and it's so hard to get your whole team over.
It is.
We got half a team over at one point last season during games, but it's fun. It's chaotic.
So we see here Valhalla, they're actually going to try a sim strat. They're wanting to go, like, just bypass this choke and go around the tower, which they've successfully done. Daddy Needs You unintentionally takes out the turrets around the cart. Valhalla pushing really aggressively, but a really good play by Zanshin Tactics to take out the Symmetra early, not letting her get a whole lot of damage in. And now Zanshin are on the aggressive. They've taken out the main tank, and Daddy Needs You is just swinging away, finding 4 kills. And now they set their sights on the teleporter, and that'll be a full fight win for Zanshin Tactics here.
For a second there, I thought Daddy Needs You, when he charged back to the payload, was in a little bit of a bad position because there were 3 behind there. But there was no real follow-up, and there was a lot of great heals that kind of helped keep him alive. So great job by CT.
Oh, I don't think they were expecting Brow Daddy to have a shatter there, and that shatter might just have won them point A already. They take down 3 members of Zanshin Tactics with it. Now, since I started talking, make that 5. And the only pick that went Zanshin's way has just been rezzed up. That was really clean from Brow Daddy. Unfortunate Zanshin Tactics weren't prepared for that.
I was going to say, nice block there from Brow Daddy on Zom. Zom's was trying to take out Bean, getting that res, but Brow Daddy kept that shield up the entire time.
Colossus has been used here. They're going really aggressive, and a nice shatter block from Brow Daddy here. Immortality Field gets melted down. This is a really good push for Valhalla to make sure they don't get stuck on this corner. Zom's able to find 1 pick onto Ravioli Stain, but I think Valhalla pretty successfully taking this corner as theirs.
Yeah,
ooh,
like
really nice charge.
Yeah, they want to finish up these last little bits that they can.
This is troublesome right now for Brow Daddy. They just got their support with them, and they got charged all the way into Zanshin Tactics area. Ooh, oh, that's a really good punish shatter. Antipo with 2 kills now. Zanshin Tactics have to be careful. If this tire doesn't come up with much, and it doesn't really get anything other than the D-Mech, Zanshin Tactics are in a lot of trouble of just being in a constant stagger here. Our Demo alone on this Junkrat, though, not able to get any kills. They did a good job with the defense matrix to make sure no value came of it. And Brow Daddy charges in again. These pins are giving me anxiety.
Indeed, but the rest of the team was there to kind of follow up, and I don't know what happened there, but it looks like Brow Daddy kind of just backed up a little too much.
Quite possibly. Antipo in the backline here, able to find a pick on the killer bot, but is 1 HP because of the shots they were landing were too close. They're going to invest Coalescence here, but Zanshin Tactics have a pretty good amount of control over this space. Able to find 2 with this Earth Shatter. They're wanting to probably stagger, yeah, this is Baby Diva, but they're going to go ahead and use a grab. They're just trying to stagger them as a team right now. And I think that'll be Zanshin finally putting the period on that team fight.
I cannot blame ZT for using those 2 grabs. I know it might have seemed a little overkill in that situation, but they wanted to make sure that the fight was completely backed out of and that they got as much space getting this payload back across bridge as possible.
Yeah, I agree with the Graviton as well.
Especially they're building it up quickly, you know.
Another huge shatter from Brow Daddy here. Can Zoms bring it back though with this Deadeye? Able to find a pick on the Antipo. That's a lot of damage gone, and a follow-up pick onto the Baby Diva. And all of a sudden, this looks a lot less bleak for Zanshin Tactics, as they still have 3 members alive here. No healers, so they'll have to be really careful. However, they're about to remove B-Ant from this fight. Ravioli Stain, though, gets healing from their own shots. However, now Zanshin Tactics are here. They're back to support this Zarya, and Ravioli Stain's gonna be forced to back out. Oh no, at the very last second! You can't DM the Reinhardt hammer, and unfortunately that's gonna cause Ravioli Stain to go out. There was a really good rescue attempt that was put in there between the Moira and the Diva, but it just wasn't enough. Valhalla regrouping now. Looks like they may want to try this castle push again. Dynamite tossed in. They're going to have to play a little slowly till that detonates. Here comes the window. Bob gets tossed in through the window. All the way to their spawn, though. Nice counterpin here from Daddy Needs You. VX Hunter falls off the map. Coalescence being invested here on the side of Valhalla. forcing Zanshin Tactics to play a little bit slower here. Daddy Needs You is backed out, but Zoms and Honda Horn have opted to stay in the castle here. Zoms going on a weird path right now. Maybe just doesn't trust the stairwell. Huge grab. I believe it collected a Lucio that was actually away from the entire team. And the ult dump is a pretty good way to win a team fight. That'll probably secure the beat.
Team kill, I think it should secure that the point for them.
They're gonna. Zanshin are trying.
Gonna be so close.
They touch. Coalescence used by KDB here to keep them alive. Riptire finds the pick on the Zarya. That's a lot of damage negation. Gone now. Brow Daddy finding Baptiste. This fight's going Valhalla's way again. They're going to go ahead and invest a beat just to ensure that this finishes off in their favor. And they'll secure B now.
Yeah, what I can say is that they did bait out Tyre and they did bait out B for these next fights. Both can be built up easily, but you know, at least they don't have them for the initial engagements anymore.
Yeah, that's generally what you would be talking about once you get out of that. It's like, okay, that's fine. We got 2 ults out of them. We'll just hold at the next corner.
Yeah.
And Zanshin Tactics have solidified pretty well. This bomb could be pretty big for them though. The shatter doesn't come through quick enough. The shield able to protect the team. Coalescence being invested here as well as Bob. Bob's actually in a pretty good spot, even if it just makes the team turn around to take him out quicker. Daddy Needs You really trying to manage his shield here on this corner. They're going to use the Immortality Field to keep them alive. Shatter goes through, finding 3 of the squishies, but Daddy Needs You falls before they can follow up on it. And now another beat comes through from B-Ants. And the picks are going in favor of Valhalla currently, but Zoms in the backline with this Deadeye finds Ravioli Stain. Another Riptire coming out. The Graviton Surge, can it be enough? Zanshin Tactics have a lot of picks going their way because of it. Daddy Needs You is back now, but Valhalla are just trying to get out now.
Zoms is doing some crazy damage in the backlines there. Was able to take out Ravioli Stain, take out BX Hunter. You know, they used their entire mech to kind of try and negate that high noon, and they did, but like, Zoms really helped save that fight in that moment.
Our team has swapped over to Doomfist now, and in a last second fight where a lot of teams don't have ults, Doomfist can be a very big pain to deal with.
Especially if they chase him down, and we do see Ravioli Stain looking to chase him down a little.
Window has been used here on the side of Zanshin Tactics, but Valhalla pushed through it to make sure it doesn't get any value. Demo's back though. Can they take out the Moira? They at least shut down the Coalescence, which is huge. Daddy Needs You not quite able to connect that pin. Currently, picks are favoring Zanshin due to spawn advantage. But this grab should go on ahead and finish off this defense here.
Incredible hold there from ZT.
Good rally from Valhalla too. They spent a lot of time trying to crack that B defense and finally did. That actually gave themselves a pretty good fighting chance here for their defense.
Initiating match.
I like that they kept taking that castle rotation because they realized on their first rotation it was more beneficial to sort of take that low damage impact route than it was to go, you know, under bridge and take a lot of damage and take a lot of just kind of, because they had the Ashe, they had the McCree.
Right.
Very smart by them.
Minimizing your poke damage.
They had that Lucio, they had everything that they needed to have to do that.
Ready for battle.
So, we will see the Orisa. Thank you, Valhalla. They're gonna commit to it quite heavily too with the Torb and the bat.
Torb. I love me some Torb. Torb's my favorite DPS to play. I love it.
I would assume the Torb is here mostly to deter Faras, if I had to guess. Since they don't have a hit scan at all, Torb's a pretty good like CQC hero, and the turret will help deter Faras at least a little bit.
We've seen a decent amount of Pharah. We've seen a little bit Last Moment, Sombra, Tracer, you know, Doomfist. So it's any of those characters. It's pretty helpful to us.
Defend objective A.
We will see the Pharah from Zoms right off the bat here. So already the turret's very helpful. Daddy Needs You is going to go ahead and push the team in pretty aggressively around the tower. Going to be met by a Reaper, though. They're going to have to be a little careful because of that. Demo trying to hit an off angle here. Gets forced back to play with Zanshin. Zoms is really far back, playing on that staircase behind the tree. Just trying to get some shots in from an off angle. I appreciate that. Immortality Field invested to save Daddy Needs You. Doesn't quite get there in time, though. Valhalla are doing a pretty good job of playing this slowly and dismantling Zanshin as they kind of split up a little bit here. Zanshin are very split apart right now for a brawl comp. Honda Horn able to punish Rav, though.
The two DPS tried to take a flank off, and Demo just got caught out very quickly on that situation.
They secure a tick, though. And for a no-ult fight, that's pretty good. Daddy Needs You does come back, though. Might end up turning into an ult battery if they can't get him out. They're able to get him out, though. Which is very helpful for Zanshin Tactics' own supports.
Helpful, but in comparison to some ult advantage here on the tank side, it does look like Valhalla is taking stagger this properly, are in a better position.
Zoms from behind with a huge 3K barrage! And a nice charge from Daddy Needs You finishes off the damage dealers of Valhalla. That'll be a very fast stay take, only taking them 2 attempts.
With a lot of ults online here. Both support ults, both DPS ults are basically online on top of Nemo. But on the side of Valhalla, they do have almost, you know, for themselves.
I don't think a snowball will happen. They were, because they lost that fight so quickly, they didn't even get a chance to invest ults of their own.
Especially with Ravioli, if they can land some key dynamites here, able to kind of build this up.
Daddy Needs You has decided that they want this corner right now. They want both of these corners. They don't want to fight on that castle corner. They've taken out a majority of the utility that this team has, too. Demo, a flying blossom it looked like. Zanshin are playing this incredibly aggressively, which I think they have to do because they're running the traditional double shield, the Orisa Sigma, which both those heroes, after all their nerfs, just don't play well against aggression. So
What's interesting to me is, I can agree with you that they wanted those corners, but I don't think they invested those ults because they wanted the corners.
No.
I honestly think they invested them because they want to bait out as many ults as possible. Now the ults are being invested for the corners. But I think they wanted to I think they knew those ults were online, and they wanted to make sure Valhalla used as many as possible.
Cart. Zanshin. Well, quiet. Zanshin have already really won this fight. They just stopped pushing cart there for a sec. They've given themselves quite the C setup here. 4.5 minutes to push around both these corners.
I think CT realized how quickly they were building ults and just use them, you know, keep building them, keep using them, make our space, force their ults out, which is the most important thing you can do, in my opinion.
Window's going to be used here. Daddy Needs You loses their shield right off the bat, but Zanshin are just going to play it slow, back up, not let Valhalla get too much value out of this window. But Valhalla have managed to reclaim this specific corner here, which is pretty good for them. If they're gonna hold here, they want to hold a little bit forward because they want to be able to lose one fight and still be able to come out and fight again. Ooh, the Reaper gets launched up into the sky. Antipo gets 2 on their landing. Ravioli Stain showing some kills of their own, able to push Zanshin Tactics back some here. Charge from Daddy Needs You, gonna find Brow Daddy, but unfortunately not gonna actually do any damage because of the bubble. They're actually able to do that off of only using their Death Blossom, which is pretty good for their ult economy given their situation right now. And Zanshin don't have anything online. So they'll still have to be careful because if they use a lot of ults in this fight, and Zanshin don't, the ult eco will strongly have Zanshin Tactics. We see the Shattered, kind of just a lot of ults being thrown in right now. Valhalla getting very aggressive on Zanshin Tactics, able to take out their Reinhardt. However, in return, Honda Horn able to find Ravioli Stain. Window gets invested here just in front of the payload. BX Hunter doesn't want to fall behind it though, because they don't want to start taking all that damage, so they're trying to play around it. Now the Graviton Surge gets invested for Honda Horn. NYC investing this window though to keep them alive through it. Zom's gonna use the barrage, able to find two! And now the shatter, but the bubble onto Antipo doesn't let them fall to it. Antipo just trying to stay alive here. A huge anti, but unfortunately there's just no follow-up for it right now. Valhalla trying to get as much of a regroup together as they can before they take this next fight. Daddy Needs You charges in though, gets counter shattered because of it, and they'll take down Zanshin Tactics Reinhardt. And we see here Ardemo on top with the tire, but it gets shut down just a little too ambitious with it, and Antipo able to shut them down. My words are hard now. English hard. Valhalla have successfully though pushed Zanshin Tactics back here. They should, unless BX Hunter gets hurt with this aggression here. Zombs has been in the backline as his tracer though, just kind of being a thorn in their side, making it very hard for the supports to follow up this aggression from the tank line so far. Antipo able to shut them down though. Now Hunter tries to charge in, almost collected KDB, unfortunately gets stopped by the cart, but that nano boost is going to secure them a kill onto Daddy Needs You, and the fire strike damage was crazy. Ravioli being able to clean up really well off of that. All of a sudden, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Nope, I was going to say if they can properly stagger these ults, I totally see this being a hard hold.
I was going to mention that all of a sudden this 4.5 minute time bank has turned into maybe 2 clean fights for Zanshin Tactics, and they don't have the ult advantage going into this.
They have a grab pulse bomb coming in along with the Koa.
Hunter's able to be saved for a long time there. Antipo investing the Step Blossom though, both DPS ultimates used here. Valhalla gonna win this team fight. They'll have a grab and a shatter for the next one, and they'll definitely have that window online. Is the Riptire Coalescence window pulse? I mean, they're gonna have everything online here now that I'm reading them out loud. Zanshin Tactics are gonna be able to dump 5 ultimates into this next fight. But that's
They
a good
can,
stagger
but
pick on the Zombs.
they have to be impactful ults because, like I said, the situation I wanted to see there was the grab pulse bomb. I think it could have made a huge impactful difference. Could have at least faded out that, you know.
That's a good block. That Needs You doesn't have a shield anymore. The grab's out, but they need to get rid of these fields. Riptire from Demo gets shut down. They really needed that to come up big for them. The window gets invested. Daddy Needs You, able to counter shatter. Is it going to be enough here? They find 2 picks, 2 pretty critical picks too. Ravioli Stain able to find Killerbot though. A lot of the healing's gone. Zanshin Tactics are getting the key picks they need here though. With the team kill, it's not going to be enough for time for Valhalla to get back to meaningfully contest. And that'll be map 2 going to Zanshin Tactics as well.
And on that note, I'm gonna run to
Okay, thank you for joining for
Sorry,
these 2
chat,
maps.
there's 2 games tonight, so I'm just trying to help out, spread some love, be present in all things. But I think Revity's got you guys covered. He's doing his stuff. What I'm gonna do, because I think they're still in the middle of the game, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask for your pops and your ready.
Expected.
Okay, thank you.
Make your life a little easy here.
Much
And
appreciated.
Do you know what map you're going to, my good sir?
One of the
Hanamura.
2 CP Hanamura, yes. I had to think of my scrim last night.
One of the 3 2 CPs.
Yeah.
So our timer starts at 8:42.
Mm-hmm.
We get some love between the 2 teams, which is always nice.
Mm-hmm. You love the sportsmanship. We'll go on ahead and flip the map over in the meantime.
And all those people over?
Oh,
the
yeah,
other
it's
thing
that.
you
Thank
usually
you,
need
thank you,
to
thank
do?
you, thank you, thank you.
Don't forget next map, but I'm not here. You gotta do that
Yeah, I
again.
gotta do it again. Yeah, it's been a hot second since I've done this, so thank you for the quick reminder.
See, this is why I'm here. This is why I exist. Those small, gentle reminders. Dylan, I agree. ZT is looking good. I think they might be a little bit of a bracket buster this week. They're looking a lot better than they have looked previously. And honestly, all I think it was like that off week and that week of synergy that they needed. Because Hondo has been a new pickup since then, basically. They look stellar, in my opinion. And I was actually personally, I'm in favor of the Valhalla tank line, but Daddy is really settling into this main tank role. Honda is really doing a really good job with him. The support line is very just in depth with them. Like what we just saw in Eichenwald, they're following them until kind of at the end of the world. It's like they're following them into Mordor kind of thing. It's just a four hob. I don't mean to compare them to short people because I'm short, but it's like the four hobbits. Like I'm with you till the end of the line. All these wonderful geek references that I can make, kind of thing. But no, ZT. I think ZT's making some serious improvements, and they're not a team to be slept on. I actually don't like looking at any team in our league specifically based off of their record, because every team continuously makes new pickups and is obviously always improving, doing amazing things, putting strong people out there. It's really hard to tell what you're going to get from week to week to week, and then sometimes just a team blows you over out of nowhere. And it's just the work that they've done, and it's applaudable and impressive by them.
I agree. Zanshin tactics lately, they've been looking a lot better, and I think it's showing tonight, specifically in this match. Valhalla are a pretty tough customer, and they're looking really strong against them, taking 2 maps. We have readies from both sides.
So on that note, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna bow out, guys. You guys are on your own. I leave you in good hands.
Thank you.
I wish everyone well and good luck. You're ready. You got this. Night, chat.
Here we go to good old Hanamura. So, chat, what are you guys expecting here? What do you want to see?
Initiating match.
I want to see Bastion. I want to see so much Bastion. I want defense Bastion. I want attack Bastion. I want the mean sim strats. Give them all. You want the next map? Okay, straight.
Ready.
We will get there with due time. Yes, Ravioli staying in Antipo. Give me the Bastion. The defensive sim TP Bastion at that.
Attackers.
You want Overwatch 2? Me too. Me too, as death. But we will also get that with due time. We will see teleporter strats on the attacker's side too of Zanshin Tactics. They're going to try a TP strat. I'm going to assume they're going to either go for the upper ledge here through the window or just straight to point, given that they've got the Reaper Brawl comp here. Been meaning to look, how's this Bastion strat going to work? They're just using this MTP, I assume, to get back from spawn. So they're going to use this Bastion, the damage from him, there it is, they're going to go up top. Oh, they've actually got their teleporter set up for the window. That's actually going to put a damper on Valhalla's strat. The Bastion here set up, though. We're going to see Ravioli Stain try to fend off a bunch of different angles here, but now Zanshin Tactics have already set themselves up on point. Brow Daddy just doing what they can to stay on point. Daddy needs you with a charge kill on the NYC. Gonna remove a lot of the healing. They're gonna miss that immortality field. Daddy needs you though, falling really low here. Zanshin Tactics are gonna sweep this away from them. Nobody able to touch on the side of Valhalla. That's a really quick A take for Zanshin Tactics. And Brow Daddy actually likely going to get staggered here. Brow Daddy might have been better off discharging into the team here because they're gonna let Zanshin Tactics walk all the way up to this door. They don't have a Reinhardt, and they've got to wait the full amount of time to get it back now. That's a good wall though. It's gonna make it really well. I say that Killerbot just hops over it. Antipo with a very critical kill on the Killerbot though. Daddy needs you pins in. Both Baptistes out of the fight. However, the support line for Valhalla is gone. The health pool they have now is the health pool they've got for the rest of the fight. Brow Daddy comes back in. Zanshin Tactics just absurdly fast on this attack. They've got 2 ticks. NYC is gonna be able to touch her if they've got Fade. They don't. Oh my goodness. That was something. That was really fast. Zanshin did a very good job by identifying that Brow Daddy was really caught out there on that Reinhardt, and Brow Daddy trying to stay alive there hurt. But it also, like Zanshin Tactics did a good job by not killing them too quickly because they got the like 6-7 second respawn timer on the Brow Daddy instead of the 3-second respawn.
Ready for battle.
So we'll see what Valhalla responds with. They've got a tall order here. They're gonna run it back with I believe that's an identical comp to what Zanshin Tactics ran.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Meanwhile, Zanshin Tactics gonna opt for. They're gonna do a Bastion as well. They're just not gonna run the Symmetra in this one. We see Honda Horn looking up at the sky, shaking their camera all around.
5, 4.
Zoms and KDB just arrived on the scene. Gonna set up. Zom's gonna hang out on this rock right here. Just a little bit on it too, because this is how physics work. Hunter with a nice fire strike in, hitting 3, able to build a little bit of their ult charge here. The teleporters come through. Antipo the first through. Brow Daddy falls. Zanshin Tactics are gonna push in on it, try to make something of it. They're gonna actually get that kill too. Now can Valhalla execute on the... No, they can't. They were really quick to get back to point. I was going to say, Zanshin Tactics... You could argue they overextended and might have left themselves wide open going for the Zarya if Valhalla quickly pushed in, but they were very good at getting back, like rotating back the point and covering it. Leave me alone, Strive. That ledge isn't built right. Most of the ledges on Hanamura are missing their corners. They're just slides, and you slip off of them. Fire coming out here from our Demo. Has to quickly hide. Expected them to be a bit closer. A nice fire strike from Hunter to shut it down, and Zom's gonna get a pick on the Antipo here before they even start pushing in. Vix Hunter holds their shield for as long as they can. Got stuck in a trap, and Zom's gonna melt them down as well. Zanshin Tactics are running this defensive, like, Bastion brawl really, really well against Valhalla. NYC able to get a semi-late pick on the Daddy Needs You, but if these picks... Oh, they're staggering the baby. Or that's not a baby, that's a sim. The silhouette looked like a baby. On the horn. Just looking at what they've done. Just another day in the office, though. We're gonna go ahead and start pushing in. Daddy Needs You just got back, so this is perfect timing for Zanshin tactics. Antipose still on the Spara. This is gonna be really hard to make work against the Bastion. This wall, though, could be critical for them. Nice pin in from Daddy Needs You. Are they gonna be able to get them back out? On the horn with another pick on the Ravioli stain. A lot of the damage now gone. Antipo, another pick here. Picks are back and forth a lot here, but Zoms is set up. There's not enough damage mitigation left on the team for Valhalla to really push in on Zoms. So it looks like Valhalla are going to actually opt to just completely get out of this fight. No, they're not going to look for any sort of spawn advantage here. Because there's still a couple of members. The main healer and main tank were still missing there for a moment. Zoms just melting the shield. A two-man shatter, but this Riptire to negate the aggression. Just so much damage on the side of Zanshin tactics. It's really hard to force this push with a brawl comp. Closing that gap, like just to the Bastion alone, is nearly impossible. Oh, nice hook there from Hunter. However, Honda Horn gonna go ahead and provide the bubble and the backup that Daddy needs you to get out. Honda Horn falling early here might be exactly what they need, though. The bubbles won't be there to really help the rest of the team. However, Zoms is still set up here, just like on the back corner of this point, trying to prevent the touch from NYC, but they're gonna get on and they're gonna proc overtime. Huge EMP here on the Zanshin tactics, preventing a lot of people from using their ultimate, but the damage is already done. The Wrecking Ball able to touch. VX Hunter able to use their adaptive shields to stay alive a little bit longer, but the window coming through, all they can really do is prolong the inevitable. VX Hunter's gonna fall to Zoms. Can they get another touch? Antipo on the Tracer tries to come in, but just gets melted. And that will be Hanamura going to Zanshin tactics as well as the series. We'll see what if Valhalla responds really heavily on map 4 for the map differential. This Zanshin tactics looks like a whole new team. They have just been playing really, really good tonight. Because Valhalla haven't looked that bad tonight, like, at all. They've looked very good. But Zanshin just, like, have their game plans and they're executing them perfectly. For the final map we'll be seeing tonight is one of my favorite escorts in Dorado. We'll go ahead and swap all again. So Strife, you're getting your wish. We're gonna see the next map now. I like Dorado because I feel like so many different compositions can be played on it. I feel like just in general right now, Overwatch is in a pretty good place where I feel like most compositions can be played, at least in like the lower ranks. Like I'm sure I haven't even kept up with the pro metas and all that for a good while, but I'm sure GM and pro metas are all still playing on like one comp and just mirroring it a bunch. But I feel like down in like the plat diamond levels, you can see a lot of varieties. Like right now, it doesn't feel like any one thing is just overly powerful. Um, but Dorado, just in its like own map design, it's always felt very inviting to multiple different types of team comps. Like brawl just works. Like brawl, you can in the lower ranks, you've always been able to pretty much force it onto any map you play on. Um, However, for like dive is a composition in the lower ranks you can't just force in certain places. And same goes for double shield and bunker and all that. Like, but I feel like Dorado has places where all of those compositions can work, and I feel inviting for them to or incentivizing to play them. And for the first time in Valhalla, we're gonna see swaps, but considering they actually no, we just at the very last moment got PowerPoint, so PowerPoint will be coming in. Um, and NYC will be moving to the DPS line. Antipo will be trading places with them. Ravioli Stain will be coming out in favor of PowerPoint. That should be the Valhalla lineup for Dorado. Bet you we see a Junkrat. I would like to see the statistics on Junkrat in Tier 3. Because I feel like he's probably got like a 92% pick rate at worst. Like I feel like there's like a 100% chance you're going to see a Junkrat played for at least one team fight in every Tier 3 game ever, no matter what the meta is. So this is the first map of the series where we've actually seen swaps on either teams, and we're gonna see swaps on both sides. Honda Horn will be coming out for Sovereign. Demo will no longer have Zoms with them. They'll be joined by Live in Truth. And the support line will see Lily come in for KDB. Um, PowerPoint Widow. I would love to see the PowerPoint Widow. PowerPoint Widow is scary. I think the scariest Widows I've seen in Tier 3 have to like be PowerPoint, Polish, and Wakocha for sure. If I've left anybody out, please feel free to fill me in on somebody I've forgotten. Because I'll probably go, oh, as soon as you say their name. Oh, who did I... B with Rav, okay. Okay, we've got readies from both sides. So we go for the final map of the night for this match. Honey Biscuits. Yes, I agree with that. Honey Biscuits is terrifying as a DPS player just in general.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
So we see Demo, Night Raven, and Killerbot. Now we got Live in Truth selected. With a Reinhardt, I feel like that means you'll probably see either a Zarya or a Sig. We get the Zarya. So Zanshin Tactics back to being the blue team. Gonna run the Rein, Zarya, Ashe, Torb, Mercy, Bap. Meanwhile, on the side of Valhalla, they will be running a Rein, Zarya, McCree, Junkrat, Ana, Lucio. Pretty strong composition on the side of Valhalla. They probably have the CQC, like on paper the CQC fights should go their way as long as they manage the distance fights with the turret and the Ashe. Because Ashe will pretty quickly dismantle your backline if you let her have the space she needs to do so.
Stop the payload.
Right now Demo has the high ground on the right side with the damage boost from Night Raven. Knocks the Ana and the McCree down to 1 HP. Able to get a final blow from Sovereign there. Now both of them are down. NYC able to find a pick on the killer bot, but Lily Night Raven is going to go on ahead and res it. Valhalla are going to play this a little bit slowly, waiting on their two fallen members to get back. Valhalla gonna try and push in here. Took a quick glance at the Ashe and decided they want to just go on ahead and push forward and make it really hard for Demo to actually get a sightline on them. NYC able to find a pick on the killer bot again. Proud Daddy shielding, trying to prevent Ashe from getting any picks, and a nice fire strike on the Daddy Needs You. Valhalla with a lot of picks going in on this one. They're gonna get really aggressive here, push Live in Truth out of this fight. Live in Truth actually gets caught in the corner, unfortunately, and that actually might be Valhalla taking point A. It will be. It doesn't look like they want to contest this. Oh, they're gonna actually send Bob in. Bob goes off cart and gets slapped. It's nap time. He's gonna wake up and shoot some people, just a little bit. Ravioli Singh probably appreciating the little bit of charge that they get to keep now. Zanshin Tactics gonna go ahead and try and take this corner here. Daddy Needs You shield's already really weak, but that's fine because Brow Daddy, their only shield competition, just fell right there. That allows Zanshin Tactics to get a little aggressive with their positioning here, and they're gonna do so. Shatter coming through, no shield to deny it. Molten Core coming out comboed with it, but a nice beat coming through from Antipo, gonna keep Valhalla topped off through it. But Daddy Needs You gonna find a pick on a Ravioli stand. As long as they keep finding those one-off picks in each fight, they're gonna keep forcing Valhalla to play back. Valhalla wants to make sure they're taking these fights as a full 6-person group. That unlucky for latency right there. PowerPoint gonna use the Deadeye. Trades back and forth here. This fight hasn't specifically been won by Valhalla yet. Valhalla up 2 though right now, so Zanshin Tactics gonna opt to play back. Daddy needs you. Falls a little late there. Zanshin Tactics setting back up again. Living Truth up here on this high ground. Going to be contested by PowerPoint. A nice grab coming out here. No dragons to combo with it yet, though. However, the Riptire is going to put Valhalla in the favorable position here. This Junkrat from NYC in the backline, uncontested. Able to take out the main tank. And gets the Zarya, too. NYC finding 4 kills all of their own this fight. Completely negating the value of the window here. Finally falls because of Demo, but the damage is done. Lily Night Raven just... that's a really good sleeve. PowerPoint finishing it off with a quick flick of the Shuriken and Swift Strike. Daddy needs you backing off here. They've got the Wrecking Ball in play now from Sovereign. I do believe this is the first time we've seen a Wrecking Ball in play tonight outside of stall picks. It looks like that was a stall pick though, because Sovereign has decided to roll all the way back to spawn and pick Zarya again. Daddy needs you trying their best to hold this front line without their off tank. Bob is going to get sent in a pretty nice spot too, but NYC again taking down Demo. Both Shatters come out here, counter Shatter onto Valhalla. Picks back and forth right now. Brow Daddy swinging for all they're worth in this backline. Gets a nice charge on the Daddy Needs You. Daddy Needs You out of position really badly. Killerbot follows them in, trying to heal them the best they can. Sovereign also giving bubbles where they can, but now Valhalla, the 3 of them that are left alive, able to overwhelm Zanshin Tactics. Sovereign able to get back to their supports though and push out a little bit. NYC with another kill though on the Living Truth. That's a lot of damage gone for them. Echo will facilitate a lot of damage for them though. The Stickies able to hurt Brow Daddy's shield. Here comes the Riptire from over. Daddy Needs You able to tank it though. Not PowerPoint with the Nano Blade in the backline though, finding so much. Can these dragons do anything for them? It looks like for the most part Valhalla able to stay on the right side of the dragons. Lily Night Raven here on this Moira trying to stall for as long as they can. Daddy Needs You makes it back out onto the point. Pins a Squishy, but unfortunately gets booped to the side. Not actually going to be able to kill PowerPoint in time. Killerbot's back out here on this Lucio with Demo on the Doomfist. Daddy Needs You falls. These 2 highly mobile characters able to stall for a lot of time. Their Zarya's back out here. Gets antied though, and Demo finally falling to NYC. Brow Daddy falling dangerously low though. If they can get a couple more hits onto them, they may take down their Reinhardt. Zanshin Tactics are just slowly falling apart though, and Daddy Needs You gets booped out of another charge, and that'll be Valhalla clearing their attack round with over 2 minutes in the time bank.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
That was a Valhalla did really well right there. They've been putting up a decent fight against Zanshin Tactics all night, and I think that this time they finally were able to identify Zanshin's like quick weak point and just like that sheer aggression with their numbers. They were able to take advantage of the fact that Zanshin weren't really playing together at first because of the Ashe Torb comp they were running. And they were able to run over the body of the team with their aggression. We'll see if Zanshin Tactics responds to that. We actually, looks like we're going to get a dive here. So, it's actually going to opt to split up more here. We'll see if this brawl comp that Valhalla is opting to run here is able to withstand it. They've got a lot of CC and to work with here on this team, with the boops from Lucio, the sleeps from Ana, traps from Junkrat. I mean, you got Coach Gun from Ashe, so A lot of free cart push here, though. Internet, stop being a potato. Thank you. So the dive officially went through, forced back down here onto the ground. The Diva of Sovereign gets kind of put in a bad spot. Able to finish off a kill on the power point though, so Zanshin tactics looking pretty strong so far here. Power point's gonna swap to Mei once more to counter this dive. NYC finally flexing the Junkrat again, able to get a pick on the Living Truth, but Demo rather uncontested right now. PowerPoint actually makes a swap over to McCree rather than the Mei, which I favor that swap because of the fire in play. Brow Daddy trying their best to stay alive and just stall card out, falls the killer bot. PowerPoint's back though with a pick on the Demo, gets the flashbang on the Daddy Needs You and a couple of fan the hammers to go with it. The res comes through on the Demo though. PowerPoint's gonna try and take them out as well again. Zanshin tactics are struggling a little bit here, but with the ups and downs, they seem to be coming out on a couple of ups here. NYC with the Riptire able to take down Living Truth. It's starting to look like Valhalla are going to be able to stabilize here, but now the team is back from Zanshin tactics. You've got Daddy Needs You gets antied and immediately taken out. Nano Boost invested in onto the Reinhardt. Can the bomb find anything? It does not. Sovereign able to remech, but Demo falls to the fire strike from the nano boosted Brow Daddy. And Valhalla are going to be able to stabilize here, and they turned that into a pretty lengthy fight. Only 2 minutes left on the timing now. And we do have PowerPoint on the sit scan, which is terrifying. Daddy Needs You leaps in, but gets stunned immediately and just taken right out. Very good focus fire from Valhalla there. Living Truth blinking in with Daddy Needs You on this dive here. We do see the Baby Diva Sovereign trying to get a remech going. Took an off angle. Daddy Needs You gets anti, uses the Primal Rage to go on ahead and get their health back on their own. Demo investing the barrage. There have been plenty of good ones tonight, but they get swept out of it. However, Daddy Needs You able to finish off this Ana. Trades back and forth so far. Daddy Needs You able to find the finishing blows off the back of the damage from Demo. This Riptire shuts them down though. PowerPoint's back. Probably gonna roll on the point to touch here. Brow Daddy comes out with a huge shatter. Able to knock Killerbot down. Might be able to get this kill onto the Lucio, but PowerPoint finds 2 kills of their own. It's just Brow Daddy and the Spara on point, as well as Killerbot on the Lucio, who still hasn't died yet.
30 seconds.
Able to climb over the wall and get out though. They're actually staging this dive to come over the wall. Daddy Needs You may have gone a little too soon though. Killerbot just got to them. The Mercy's here now with a lot of healing, but not PowerPoint able to pick off Living Truth before the beat comes through. That'll be really good for Valhalla. They nano boost NYC. The damage is too much for Daddy Needs You to come overcome. Killerbot able to find NYC though. Valhalla, Killerbot finding a few critical picks here. If they don't do something about the sustain right now from Zanshin, who just res Daddy Needs You, they're gonna lose Lily Night Raven for it though. Sovereign with the bomb actually takes out Ravioli Stain. The picks are now going in favor of Zanshin. The shatter comes through on the Daddy Needs You, or not onto, but oh yes, onto. Tried to get the pin on the RD mode, but just didn't quite find it. Daddy Needs You is gonna go on ahead and take a nap now and get antied, but in the final moment, they're going to close this out and take point A. Their 4-0 hopes are still alive. Valhalla are going to have to work very hard if they want this map. Then she's just not just going to lay down and let them have it. Got to fight for at least 2.5 more minutes. Demo going above them here, has the barrage, probably wants to turn this into a quick fight. Gonna go on ahead and go into their back line. There it is. They find the pick on the Ana, but PowerPoint was ready for it and takes down both of their DPS. Daddy Needs You goes in with the primal, but gets taken out by PowerPoint as well. NYC on the point, harassing the supports, trying to make sure this cart doesn't move any further than it needs to. That'll be Valhalla pretty convincingly recontesting. Grab on the Living Truth. NYC takes them out. Now the Riptide is going to come out as well. Only needed to get the Reinhardt with that. Killerbot trying to get out here. Gonna find their way out. Valhalla have done a very good job of sort of stabilizing here with this specific brawl comp, it seems. They've done a very good job of shutting down Demo's Pharah, which has been a menace to them all night long. PowerPoint's done a very good job of coming in and making sure Demo can't get all the value they were getting, and another huge shatter comes out from Brown Daddy. The high noon from PowerPoint, though, gonna be able to counter any... Zanshin did a very good job of surviving that shatter, but now that they're investing even more else, Brown Daddy's gone all the way in with that nano boost. And PowerPoint and NYC have decided to join him up there. Zanshin Tactics have one more push in them. And PowerPoint with an early pick on the Demo is not what you want to see going into this fight. Antipo in the backline on the Ana. A pin onto Ravioli Stain is going to come through, but Brown Daddy's going to take advantage of the lack of a Reinhardt and gets a huge shatter here. And the DPS have not been delayed in taking advantage of that. And it looks like Valhalla will get themselves one map here in Dorado. That was a pretty good series. PowerPoint finding themselves the play of the game here. That was a really good shutdown.
Thank you, thank you.
So now the fun part. We'll let the nominations come in first. Chat can go on ahead and start brewing up their storm about who MVP should be. Valhalla has nominated Honda and Zoms. And Zanshin Tactics are going to nominate Brow Daddy and NYC. I agree, actually. Those are all really strong candidates. I was definitely between Honda and Brow Daddy for tank for tonight. Both of them have done really well. I mean, that's not even the takeaway from Rav and Daddy Needs You, because they've also put on stellar performances. I think all the tanks who played tonight did really, really well, but Honda and Brow Daddy really stood out to me the most. I think the edge goes to Honda for me, though. I feel like Honda just did outstandingly well on everything they played. They played a lot. Like, right off the top of my head, I know they played Reinhardt, I know they played Zarya, and I know they played Roadhog, and they did all of them very, very well. They facilitated those tanks' roles very, very well, and they actually were doing a pretty good job of securing kills on those roles as well. Like, Ilios well, I know it's like a Roadhog play on Ilios well, but wasn't even using the well a whole lot. And Honda was able to just kind of like solo flank their team, get like a critical pick, and then get back out. Set up some pretty big barrages from Demo as well. So personally, I'm gonna go with Honda on tank MVP. For DPS, I see the PowerPoint there, but PowerPoint did really, really well on their one map that they played. I can't take away from that, but they did also only play one map. And I felt like Demo was very consistently very strong the entire match. NYC is also like a candidate, but again, it was mostly for their Dorado. NYC did only come in for one DPS map, but their Junkrat was very, very strong on Dorado, in my opinion. But I think Demo, for me, is the pick there. Zoms played very, very well too. I see you, Zoms. You played very well too. But I think for me personally, Demo was the one who stood out the most to me. Demo did a very good job, like coordinating with tank ultimates to make sure their barrages were getting a lot of picks. Their Pharah, just in general, I feel like did a very good job of hurting Valhalla until they got like PowerPoint in, who's just like known for being a very strong hit scan player. So once PowerPoint came in, Demo's value started to get negated a little more. We saw them have to get off the Pharah, play a little more soldier, but Demo, until told they couldn't play Pharah anymore, did a very good job of just kind of dismantling Valhalla and making it very, very hard for them to do anything they really wanted to achieve. So personally, for me, I'm gonna say Demo. And the supports, I was between personally Killerbot and Antipo. Both did a very good job. And though came in on the last map, if I recall, but Antipo did a pretty good job on their one support map. Killerbot's Baptiste was really, really good on the maps they played it on, which I believe were Eichenwald and Hanamura, if I'm not mistaken. KDB did really, really, really good too. I liked the coalescences from their Moira specifically. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing out any play here because I'm all on my own tonight, so I'm digging around in my brain to make sure I'm not overseeing anything. But to me, the one that was most stand out for me was Killerbot. Lily Knight Raven did very well in their final map. But it really comes down to me for the overall match consistency, and I felt like Killerbot was like firing on all cylinders the entire night. So I think for me, I'm going to give it to Killerbot. So on that note, I would like to add that this was a pretty good match tonight. It's nice to see Zanshin Tactics on the up. They've been a team that's struggled a little bit in recent times. I don't feel like this was too bad of a series for Valhalla. I think they're still worthy of being discussed as like one of the top 3 teams in tier 3 right now. Just a really good sort of bounce back map for Zanshin Tactics, who as a team have like struggled as an org for a little while. I think it's really nice to see that they've made the acquisition in Honda, which seems to have really helped their team sort of like rally around that specific tank player. And Daddy Needs You has also like considerably stepped up as a tank player, and just as a team, their team coordination seemed really good tonight. Their ult management was fantastic. I mean, same goes for Valhalla. I'm not at all trying to discredit Valhalla. They did a fantastic job as well. Like, their ult management was really good. Like, on both Eichenwald and Hanamura, I felt like they had pretty fighting chances with ult management. So, that's kind of my closing note on this match. Keep an eye out for Zanshin Tactics. They're on an upswing. I think they're a really strong team. It's nice to see that they're on the upswing, and don't count out Valhalla just because of this one loss. I think that they're a team that could easily come back out and bite you for it. So that has been everything from me. Thank you guys for coming to the stream and watching tonight. This was a really fun match to cast and commentate. Thank you to Jibba for helping me with the first 2 maps. It's always appreciated. I hope you guys enjoyed. We will have more tier 3. Before I sign off, I'll actually go ahead and let you guys know when the next match actually is. So looks like we have a match between Cosmic Omnix and Prodigy Noobs tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. CST. So be sure to catch that one. That'll be a good match. Prodigy Noobs and KO, very good teams. Prodigy Noobs, definitely one of my favorite teams to play against. So I'll definitely be tuning into that. But again, thank you guys for tuning into this stream. Have a lovely night, evening, and we'll see you then.